If you had 1 acre of land, what would you grow? That's what we as young and new, relatively new farmers need to be trying to figure out, because real estate prices are going through the roof. The dollar is losing its trading power, and politically we're seeing that we may not have as many options as we've been used to. Leaning heavily on imports means that someone else is producing it, wrapping it, marketing it, and shipping it to us. And if it goes all the way through that process, and by the time we get to the ports, no one's there to bring it to us, then how will we eat? Currency, something we can plant and it can multiply. Something we can trade, something we can depend on, something that has life. The questions for us now are to think about, what should we be preparing for? If we know that we're looking at a system where economics, there was a repo market where the banks were lending to themselves overnight back in September of 2019, and there were some questions about that, and before you knew it, something happened in the world of wellness and health that took all our attention off of that, but didn't stop us from ending up in a place where the government is trying to decide whether or not to raise the debt ceiling. Who is raising your debt ceiling? Who is saying that it's okay for you to owe more money and not pay on the principal? If you had an acre of land, what would you grow? Sweet potatoes, navy beans, peanuts, melons, sorghum. What would you grow? Medicinal herbs, why would you grow them? Would you be growing for market, or would you be growing for your family? Survival. These are some of the questions that we have to ask ourselves as young growers, and then as we connect with like-minded people who are doing the research in the areas of politics and science, we have to see, what are they talking about? The economic leaders are speaking about, or teachers, maybe the economic teachers, they're speaking about needing to have food, shelter, barterability, community, security, needing to have all of these things secure. The Nation of Islam has been teaching for years that we need to be self-sufficient. The conscious movements, the veganic movements, the permaculture movements are all speaking about how food is fundamental. So there was a time period before this damn panic when we were having the conversation about small farmers across the world growing 70 to 80% of the food and doing it on an acre to 15 acres. And how the compensation, what it was looking like. There were farmer suicides in India. There were farmer protests globally. The farmers in Europe were bringing manure and pouring it on the government steps. And then there was a lockdown that said, put on a mask, you can't go outside, you can't gather in groups for your safety. And now it's 2021. Food prices are up 30%. We've already had gas shortages. We've already had cyber attacks. Now we have ports that are full of shipping containers with goods or services and goods that we can't have access to. And we can't have access to them because of what? Because of rules and regulations that we don't have any say-so in. We do have a say-so in how we treat the earth and how we spend our time, what we invest in, what we give our energy to. Thank you all on Patreon, all the supporters here, for helping us do what we do. We're bringing you more solutions and more produce this year. Grower you are.